break it down. I thought that was their job. Like, they're meant to break it down, and we're just supposed to like say stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I think he's got that wrong. Terrible host. Get someone new. Replace him.
Let's do it, man.
Good start. But yeah, we're going into our second game of the day. I think a weakened Red Reserve versus a HellRaisers. Well, at least for a couple of them in their hometown. I think this is going to be a game, at least from my perspective, where HellRaisers are the clear favorites to take this one.
Yeah, but then again, I think HellRaisers lately haven't actually been getting the best results, and I've had the pleasure of playing them in practice, and I feel like they feel off. I mean, it's just practice, so what do I know? But I just feel like normally when you play HellRaisers, it's like one of those teams where you just instantly get headshotted all the time. But last time we played them, at least, it felt like they were super off. Like we were just... It felt like we were the ones that were just winning every single duel, and it wasn't like they had like some sick tactical aspect that we didn't have. It felt like they were tired or off or something like that. But I don't know how it's going to be at this event. But if that HellRaisers shows up, then I think it could be a closer match, but not so much an overpass, because as the analysts say, I agree, it is a very tactical map. And if you don't have an in-game leader, or at least not a guy who's in-game led, then it's super hard to do well on it.
Yeah, it will probably end up going back down to basics. The thing I do love about this HellRaisers iteration, at least, is just like on LAN, from what I've seen, Issa just like seems to pump up the team. He's just so good at doing it. He is genuinely one of the nicest people I think I've ever met. Like, always happy to say hello, and always like really loves getting his team pumped. And I think for someone like Woxic, that's actually really important. I think when he gets pumped up, when he gets fired up, he's actually one of the scariest AWPers to go up against, because he is just nuts. So I think there's definitely going to be an exciting series. I'm hoping the Red Reserve can show us what they've got. And hey, I'm interested to learn a little bit about Kreese, because he's someone not quite on my radar just yet. And he's already... Well, he is on the radar for the CTs. Let's put it that way. He's already taken a little bit of damage early on. The T's looking to actually burst out of this connector, and DevFox will be the one to meet them, looking to just try and fall back to the site, not take too much damage here. The smoke actually nets him a first frag and almost gets the second. The bottom will be there to trade.
Yeah, now the T's, it looks like they are just going to be regrouping here, and they're actually just gaining the map control. I really like that. That seems to be a pretty good decision. And Angel just about makes it around the corner before the charge comes in. He gets the info that there's at least 2 players here and another 2. So with that tap, he opens up the round. And now with all the info as well, his teammates will be coming back to join him, as he's just delaying them here. And the problem is the players on A-Long, they don't have any grenades. So all they can do right now is just stay hidden. And if they manage that for long enough, maybe the rotations will change. But he will actually be taken down by Relax, and now that opens up the site. They can plan on the inside here for CT, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing. Issa and Bondik, the players that need to step up. Issa looking for it, but they're just going to charge him down. And 3 players there. He takes one, does not get the second, though. He gets traded. Krias and Freddy Frog, some pretty deadly aimers. But that said, Voxic and Bondik definitely capable as well. Krias is standing, loses a duel, loses a round, and instead it's Voxic with the kit and the P2000 who picks it up.
Yeah, I think that, again, it comes down to sort of getting a little bit bogged down for Red Reserve. Like, the bomb had actually crossed on long, so, like, getting out of there just was no longer an option. They had to take that fight versus Angel. Ultimately, he does enough to sort of keep them with that man advantage, and then after that point, it did just look like sort of what you said. Like, they were pushing into a site where, realistically, all the information had already been gathered for HellRaisers. They already knew everything. So it does come down to just trading, but it's still a little bit close to comfort. Like, if they know everything, the fact that it comes down to a 1v1 fight between Woxic and I can't remember who, but whoever it was, it shouldn't really happen. It was Kreese, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Kreese.
it was Kreese. Yeah, it's... I definitely agree with you. And I like this, actually. I think it's something that's done a bit too rarely. It's that, you know, one guy who has the extra money drops the AK for someone else who then buys head armor, and you try to work off of him. And in this case, he's already been dropped quite low, and it doesn't really make sense to drop the AK to anyone else since no one else has armor. So what I normally would like is that you drop 2 AKs, but since they got the bomb plant, I think that's the reason why they only went with 1. And now the players are gathering up close to Monster, and they might actually just find the sickest timing here. I don't know. Angel, is he aware? He's not. Pleasant should be getting this kill, and he gets it. It's the entry, and now the side is open. The
problem is the retake setup's pretty much already there because they push short at a decent time as well. And now the bomb, it can't even cross. Bondic straight through the wall, and this has just become a shutdown. Luckily, the one man left alive is the man with the AK, and at least tried to make things costly, but one kill and an AK handed over to the CT side. Not really worth that much in terms of investment, but at least they dropped one. They made things a little bit more costly. It's not quite what they were hoping for, though, is it?
No, it probably wasn't. I mean, if you get 2 kills there, I guess the investment somewhat pays off. Or if you just get a bomb plant, in this round they got neither. So, I mean, the only thing that's really going to be changing here is that one player will just not be playing with an AK, and we see it. It's Krias who sacrificed himself last round by dropping the AK, and who now has to sacrifice himself again by playing just the CZ. So, and also Pleasant with a Galil is probably not ideal, but I think we'll still see a Red Reserve that's ready to battle. I think 3 AKs. I mean, if you look at the CT's weapons here, it's a FAMAS, a UMP, 2 M4s, and an AK. It's not even such a much better buy than the one that's on the Red Reserve side. So I think this is a round that could definitely still go both ways.
Yeah, I think the only real difference is that utility, though. Still got multiple incendiaries, a few smokes to play with, and the T's, although they have smokes on every single player, that is it. A singular flashbang will be alongside it. DevFox in quite an aggressive position. He is one of the rifle players, so if he loses this battle, it could hand one over, but instead he has support as well. Woxic will trade his death. Already leaves a man advantage for the CT side. Pushing around that door as well, Issa is going to be spotting towards Monster, and the T's at the moment looking fairly disjointed, looking to gather up towards Long, but the problem is, will they expect Woxic in this corner? He's looking to actually re-aggress, meets Relaxer, but wins that battle too. Now that's all that's left. 2 players remain. Kreese will find one. If Freddy Frog wins this battle, they're actually somewhat back into the round, but Bondic catches one more and leaves the stand-in, who's now managed to retrieve a rifle in a 1 versus 2, and not much time. I think that's the biggest thing. He's got to get onto one of these sites quickly, and Bondic closing that door, it just leaves him in such a detrimental position. The second he gets onto this side, he pretty much has to go for a plant. And I think Angel is more than aware of this, watches the smoke, and even finds him straight through it. Great finish to the round from Angel. And although that was, as you said, a little bit of a sketchy buy, CTs do make it work.
Yeah, but it's off the back of Woxic in this round. He gets 2 really... I mean, he trades the first, so it's a somewhat easy kill, but it's a really high-impact kill. And then after that, he even... I mean, gets himself into actually a pretty awkward position, but somehow wins out the fight versus Relaxer as well. And that's just like 2 super high impact frags that Woxic gets there that pretty much single-handedly wins them this round. I mean, it's really going to be interesting to see how Red Reserve are going to fare on this T side. I mean, this is a pretty standard strat for taking map control with the double smokes there, but as you can see, Woxic has just pushed through A long, and with only pistols, it's going to be really hard for them to make anything of this round.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be a question called in general. I think starting on the CT side would have been better for them just based off not having a caller, but they have managed to find an opener, and this should net them a bomb plant at least, which is more than they probably would have expected going into this one. Didn't have much invested at all. Issa will already dunk one out, and the quick kills are coming in for this CT side as they do look to retake the site without too many problems. Plessen is here with a rifle, has the chance for one, but the fact is now they know exactly where he is, and he doesn't have any armor. Wouldn't have made a difference anyway, as his head is decapitated. And now, well, we'll see the bomb defusal fairly simply. But all in all, considering the investment, they make all of that back off the bomb plant and go into the next round with a pretty decent buy.
Yeah, when you normally throw those smokes, or at least most teams play like that. That if you throw those 2 smokes, the one in the toilets and the one, yeah, I mean, people call it whatever, right? It's I would call it banana, right?
Yeah. Banana or short, those are the more common ones, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. If you throw those 2 smokes, usually, at least when it's a buy, people throw those 2 smokes and then they use it to push 3 or 2 rifles at least through mid, down into underground and clear it from both positions. They didn't do that. And because of that, Woxic could push A long because no one had any info. Everyone just went through underground. So, I mean, it was obviously only a round where they had pistols, but that's definitely something that they could change in the future, and that maybe could have netted them the round, or at least a better chance in it.
Yeah, T-side they've got themselves a buyback in, got Relaxer onto the AWP, and Woxic can say the same. Bondic at least taking a little bit of initial damage just from his peak actually coming out, and it seems like they've left Kreese as a little bit more of a lurker over towards that B side of the map. I'm not overly surprised by this. I think being a fill-in player, playing more of a lurk style where you're separate from the rest of the team can definitely work. I think it's one of the better ways to play a stand-in. It's more on the CT side that then things will get interesting for him. Where is he going to be playing? DevFox, this should be a tradable frag, but he's actually going to be allowed to fall back. Very low on HP, and Woxic is even there to back him up, but Button will be there to catch one more in return. There's a couple of low players now. And DevFox, he's desperate to try and get that AWP back and hits the quick shot as well. Relaxer, again, is there with the trade frag, but still, the CT side, they have themselves an advantage.
Ooh, I don't think he spotted Bondic. Now, even though he has the right timing, because he doesn't have the info on Bondic, he will lose up the fight. And with that, I think Relaxer's best option to go for here is just to save the AWP. I mean, there are some low players, but with only 15 seconds left and the AWP, you should just honestly save it. And looks to be the exact decision that he's also made. So a pretty close round, actually. I feel like if Boden wins out the fight versus DevFox, I mean, he only has 20 HP and he only needs to hit him one time, right? If he wins that, then it's not unlikely that Relaxer still gets the kill onto Angel, and then it's one round for Red Reserve. So really just the smallest of margins here separate the teams that round, but still, it feels like HellRaisers definitely have a better, grip, a better grasp on how to play overpass. It's at least how it has seemed the first 5 rounds, I'd say.
Yeah, I will say like this map is one that I just feel like it's a horrible position to be in for Red Reserve, because like, okay, they've got their coach behind them. He's got his little like sheets of paper that clearly have strats, maybe even written up for them here. Is that? I wonder. That's interesting. Actually, so obviously the IGL has a swollen hand. Is he here? I thought that was what I heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that could be the case. But I don't know. We can't see the coach's face.
Yeah, keep it hidden.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if that's the case, that's actually pretty interesting because, I mean, obviously the coach is the coach, and he's probably going to do a good job.
That's what I saw on Twitter. So whether that is true or not is another argument altogether.
Yeah, of course.
Because it could just be a lie.
It could be. But I mean, it would make sense. I mean, the only thing really is that it's another plane ticket, right? But I would think a swollen hand, you still have your brain, right? So.
Yeah, definitely could make things a bit more. Obviously, I imagine he would have set them up. Like they probably have their standard setups anyway, and other players will know what the IGL is likely to call. But it's the on-the-fly mid-round things that I feel are going to be much more difficult for Red Reserve. And I think we've seen that so far. Like a lot of the times, they seem to have an initial plan, but they lose the early fights, and then we're sort of sat there like, okay, what next? Like, what are you doing next? Or even in after plants where we sort of saw the retake come in so easily. Granted, they only had pistols, but it's a bit worrying. Pleasant. Oh. He meets his doom with Woxic actually already feeling pretty confident here, taking the fight versus Botten again and again to try and keep this man advantage even further in their favor. Kreese still lurking over towards his B site, but he's been smoked out. And the CT side, again, the early picks just going their way, and there's only 40 seconds left. This is where you need someone sort of making the calls, giving you that information of what you should be doing. Red Reserve, they're just waiting.
And it's not going to work out for them. Even though the short smoke actually failed, it doesn't work out. And now Freddy Frog, he's the last man standing. He's actually trying to make a play off of this, and he might surprise the CTs. He's made it past their angles, and he finds this frag, which he does not. He would have been able to get a bomb plant, but not this time around. I mean, it really is true what you said, Tom, that it just, at least in that 3 vs 5, it looked like people were just waiting for a call, you know, and that's probably, I mean, that's a worrying sign if you don't have a real IGL and people are still like waiting for calls. I mean, in such a situation,
what they did as well, Kreese just ran through a smoke and tried to get killed. Like,
yeah, exactly, right. But it's just that if you don't have a proper IGL, sometimes it's maybe just good to just go for some individual plays or individual decisions, but even that they didn't have. Now they do have loads of it, a lot of individual plays, and unfortunately that doesn't work either, so we're looking at 7-0 in favor of HellRaisers here. Unless Botan and Relaxer. Do you think they can win this?
No.
Okay.
I think Red Reserve in terms of like Deagles are not bad. Like I think their pistol play is decent, but just looking at this scenario, we've got literally AKs and AWPs. That's all that's on the other side, which is always a bad sign when it's the CT side holding all of those weapons. Now I'm going to try and push their way through long. And actually, because of the push into short, they have a chance. Nice shot from Botan to at least net one and the second as well. At least will get himself the bomb plant. There is actually an AWP further back, but he's being quickly flanked, and that should be an easy kill for Issa in the end. Nice little bit of heroics from him. A boost to the economy as well, which I don't think will play any part in their economy in the next round, but say they lose the next one, don't get a bomb plant, it will give them an extra buy.
Yeah, I'm sure that if Issa doesn't get that kill before Botan turns around, he one-deeks him as well and wins the round. So, no, but I think it's a nice try. I totally agree with what you said, that Red Reserve has some really sick deagles, and I mean, I would even say the best deagle on that team is probably Botan. That guy has such insane aim, it's really crazy. But Freddy Frog is not, shy of getting a few kills with deagle from time to time.
Well, yeah, even like players that just come from this team as well, like Hampus.
Yeah, and Pleasant is really a sick aimer as well.
I think it cast him with Hugo. It was a 1v4 with Hampus on the Deag. It was just absolutely disgusting. Like, obviously not in this team anymore, but previously.
Yeah.
Voxic, it just so far has been playing so aggro, and they've even got the secondary up onto DevFox. Two players actually over towards the safe side of the map. He's got to watch out. There's a man right next to him and goes for the knife. Actually takes him down. Relaxer having a little bit of fun with that one. DevFox, that has got to hurt, but so will the shot to the face that comes straight from Voxic in return. Onto the site they go. Angel, a little bit lucky to get away with that. The pot flash back in, catches Pleasant a little, but he still wins the fight, and Voxic has fallen in the meantime. Both remaining players pushing up the stairs, and although the bomb is quite far away, this should be impossible now. It's very difficult to get back in, especially with the smokes down, the aggressive angles taken by the T side. Smoke may fade slightly into Issa's favor. See if any of them have that sort of smoke setting available to them. Oh, that is a sketchy fight to say the least, and Issa does win himself the battle, but now so low on HP, you have to wonder if he's just going to fall back and save.
But at this point, it's even worth it for Bondik to actually try to get some exit frags, because the T economy is really, really bad, and he's really got nothing to lose. I mean, okay, they might not have an AK in the next round, but he will still have loads of money. You can see it here, he has 7.3k, but instantly gets removed by Botan, and now I'm not sure if they want to play double AWP here on the T side. If that's the case, that's a bit weird, but
no, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Nice. I would think so. He probably even threw it out the map. That would probably be the right play. Not that HellRaisers are short in terms of money.
How old is Kreese?
I think he is 20.
He looks about 12.
Yeah,
he looks very, very young.
Maybe he's like 9. I'm pretty sure he's older than 18 at least, for sure. I mean, 18 or older.
Oh, this is just
pretty. He does look very young.
To say the least.
Yeah.
I wonder if he actually knew he was around that corner.
I think he did, because Relaxer shot first, and I think it was because he saw the gun barrel, and that's why DeadFox peeked out and then missed the no-scope. So I think he was, like, he knew he was there, but yeah. Pretty ballsy still to go for the knife. Some people would probably pick the pistol, but Voxic gets another opener here. He's really feeling it with the AWP right now. He's just everywhere in the map and constantly harassing Red Reserve. And yeah, there's honestly just, it feels like, that kill from Voxic just tells a tale, right? I mean, on overpass, it's such a, he even gets another one. And butt clenching moment. Now Voxic searching for even more on this low HP player. But he is wise enough to throw a flash that Voxic can't even see. That's a super good peek by Freddy Frog. Really, really well played by him. But still, it's a tall order. Angel looking to see what he can make by pushing these toilets. And he's getting a lot of info for sure. They're still playing 2 guys on the B bomb site, which, I mean, has yet to be tested, more or less. They've only really been playing towards the A bomb site. If he clears this corner, it should be a free frag, and he does not. So Freddy Frog instead almost gets another. And now DeadFox dropping low, takes Relaxer, even has a good angle, takes the second. And Freddy Frog now can't even give chase through this Molo.
Ooh.
One tap. Scream.
Hello. He's got himself 3 kills now. And on very low HP for all of them. So a little bit worrying for the remaining HellRaisers players, but there's so little time. He has to go running in, catches Issa with a nade in hand, but then runs out of ammo himself, can't finish the job. But yeah, a lot of sort of weird fights in that one. DevFox, again, what was it, 20 HP, gets 2 kills peeking wide like that? That's crazy. I don't know how he gets away with that, and I don't know how Freddy Frog... Well, actually, his kills I feel like were a little bit more methodical. Like, you had the pop flashes, and it looked like smart play, whereas DevFox was just like, let's go, I'm peeking out wide.
I mean, he didn't have any chances of survival by, you know, staying, so he just did the only play that made sense, but he caught one guy with the grenade, and then the other guy was just not ready for him to have pushed to the right side. It was actually really well played by DeadFox, but also very lucky. But I mean, I think the reason why Overpass is such a hard map to play as a mix is because one of the most important things, at least for me, on Overpass is having a solid A default. And it's really, really hard because you need, you know, a smoke in the toilets, you need the Molotov, you need good flashes, and you need to, you know, just take map control together. And it's really, really hard to do that in a mix. You can really see they are trying, but unfortunately, because they are not good enough at doing so, Voxic is just finding entries everywhere because their default just has a lot of gaping holes, and he's really doing everything he can of exploiting those holes. So it's...
Well, I feel like he's one of the worst possible players that you could come up against when you're playing as a mix, because he just has no respect against anyone. Like, it's just sheer aggression, and it's like... He's someone I feel like if you shut him down early enough, you do have a decent chance. But if he starts doing what he's doing now, where it's just like aggressive peak after aggressive peak, and he's winning all of the duels, you just don't stand much of a chance.
No, that seems about right, to be honest. He's been everywhere on the map, and he's just been finding entry after entry. But instead, this time, we're going to be seeing a round towards B. An Angel gets a kill through the wall on Botan, so...
It just doesn't get any better, does it?
No.
Red Reserve, they take a tactical pause to try and level their heads a bit, have some different strategy thrown in. Instead, they're met with a man shooting through a wall and just a wipe down already. 2 kills coming in. It's the UMP to actually net 1, almost a second, but gets hit by the nade and finished off by Bondic. And now Relaxer getting surrounded, shot through the wall as well. Pretty low on HP, does have multiple players looking to hunt him down, and eventually Angel will close out his triple. 9-1, money now becomes a factor for Red Reserve once again, and this is looking bleak.
But they are, I mean, you can really see that they are missing an IGL. They are doing arguably the worst, you know, attempt at balancing rounds that I've seen from a team at this level ever, I think. I mean, they've been playing A every round. They've been using smokes, Molotovs, flashes, blah, blah, blah. This round they go B. They don't throw a single grenade on A. That's at least what it looked like to me. What they did was, or what HellRaisers did was, they just had DeadFox pushed up in the toilets, had all the map control that no one was A. Angel gets a kill through the wall. Nice shot by Voxic. And then they just know it can only be B. Ooh, really sick shot by Krios there with the P250. But it's just, I mean, if you don't balance like that, then good teams like HellRaisers will just instantly see that, you know what, this time they don't throw any grenades on A. We can play close, we can get the info, and then when they have it, they just stack accordingly. And they were 4 guys on B versus, I mean, yeah, even when they had a man advantage, they were 4 guys playing on B. Then that tells me that you're doing a bad job at balancing, right? And that was also the case, at least from what I can see.
Yeah, Pleasant in this round has actually managed to net an AWP, which gives an opener. In the meantime, Angel was pushed up on the other side of the map, trying to get a little bit closer. DevFox peeking wide is met by that AWP. Now, there wasn't much invested in this round anyway, so a chance to at least make things costly, get a bomb plant, build the cache yourselves, which is exactly what they'll be doing. There's not going to be time for Issa to do too much, and the only real problem I see is the fact that the one weapon they have, or now a second, is actually over towards long, which defending that bomb is going to be very difficult indeed, especially with the amount of utility that is held currently by the HellRaisers side. They're going to need somebody to go big. Kreese in an aggressive spot, can't win the battle, and Freddy Frog has nothing to play with now. It just comes down to this AWP, and if they use their utility well, it's over, and they had it after the fact anyway, but they get the kill easy.
Yeah, I mean, they could have just Molotov long, and there's no way he can ever play that. He doesn't have armor, so it's like... he will take so much damage. I also think, like, I mean, I have to kind of talk about this because it's a pretty, you know, the game right now is not so close.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm noticing a lot of like small details. For example, here, Krios gets an entry frag, then Pleasant gets the second. But instead of Krios dropping his P250 and then taking the AK, he ends up taking the AK and he lets Freddy Frog play there with the Glock. I mean, maybe let Freddy Frog take it or drop the P250 so that you can have 3 players that actually can fight instead of only 2. I mean, it's a really small thing, but these small things, they add up in the end. And yeah, I think it's really showing that they are a mix, and that's really unfortunate. But they are super good players, and I think even if they were to lose overpass, it's for sure possible that they come back in a second.
So Botan has got no armor. I don't know if that's intentional or what, but definitely a bit of a weird scenario. Him without armor, miss Molotov at the beginning. Few slight mistakes coming in for Red Reserve. They are going to be set over towards this B side of the map with Bondik there. And again, it's that same scenario you mentioned before where we're starting to see players push up on the other side of the map. We've got 3 almost peering towards this monster spot. Smoke will go down and Pleasant tries to fall through it. Instead, Bondik finds him, but Kreese at least will be able to get the trade. Issa now takes up the spot from his opponent. Now remember, Botan doesn't have any armor, so nades anywhere near him and he'll be losing an awful lot of health. 35 seconds left on the clock and there's still 3 incendiaries and a smoke ready for the CT side to stop any sort of push that's coming in. Botan is going to be the one leading the charge. We'll see if he gets aim punched as he hits the ground running. Angel around the corner, but actually loses the fight. Issa is here to defend it at least, and Relaxer with the AWP can't do anything more. DevFox even lurking in from behind. They've had the info for quite a while. But they need someone to do something here. The time has just ticked down. Only 10 seconds left on the clock. A nice attempt from Freddy, but it's not enough. And Issa, he stays alive for all of that time to close it. He doesn't even take a point of damage, actually. That's quite impressive.
Yeah, for sure. But again, they go B, and it seemed like they, again, didn't really do a very good job at balancing. They had a guy who was just watching the A push from above A, or like, you know, above underground. And he was also watching, you know, if anybody pushed up underground. But it's like, even then you need to put some pressure on B. And it's not like, you know, obviously the Molotov failed and stuff like that. I don't know how important that was to the end
well, there's no one
goal.
pushing short, so I don't...
Exactly. I mean, it's just hard to see where this round will come from. But it could be the fact that they might be able to catch Voxic here. Voxic does not want to be caught, and he will...
How does he get away with that?
Instantly kill them. And it's another round on the board for HellRaisers, 12-1. We're going to see another buy here from Red Reserve, and... I mean, it would be nice to see them try something fast with weapons, or at least do a better job at balancing so they can keep HellRaisers guessing, because as it is right now, it's just... I feel like they're a bit too easy to read. When they go B, they don't really put any pressure on A, and when they go A, they don't really put any pressure on B. That's at least how it seems, but I could be mistaken, of course.
Yeah, definitely looking problematic, to say the least, for Red Reserve, and, well, still looking even more dynamic, but actually they do get caught. DevFox, is he going to get another scenario he never should have got away with? 2 kills, he even picks up the AWP, hits the shot onto Botan as well, and is looking to try and run riot, but finally will be put down. Again, it's another scenario where, positional-wise, it seemed like Red Reserve were on point, but they just can't win those fights. Eventually, Freddy Frog gives them the man advantage. Both players actually pushing into the connector. They've got to be careful here. Botan is in trouble, gets tapped down, but Kreese is now aware there are players pushing in from behind. He's left completely blind, though, and Issa will pick up a second already, leaving Freddy Frog alone. And, well, the bomb is currently dropped. If the CT side probe enough, they could win the round based off that alone.
Yeah, and remember, they even have info on Freddy Frog being towards that area, since he got the 1 kill onto Angel, I believe. So if they do check long, they see the bomb is still there. I mean, they pretty much know that he's, you know, lurking around the A-bomb side. And I think they have the info now. We'll see if it causes a rotation from Bondik. It won't. So all Issa has to do now is make sure that Freddy Frog, if he comes from this area, he gets killed. And he's even playing a masterful game here behind the tree. Here's the guy running and instantly kills him. And Bondik had his back. So there's really no way for Freddy Frog to win that in that situation. And it's unfortunate because it's another round where they... I mean, I would say another round, right? But there's at least one round where... No, I mean, I'm not even saying it like that to be a dick or anything, but it's just that this round they actually had the advantage. 3 versus 2. If they just group up around long, I mean, they should be able to win out the battles or something like that, right? But instead they just end up playing discombobulated, and I don't know. It's... I feel like it feels like they are running out of ideas, but it seems like they never really had an idea to start with. It's a shame.
A couple of kills will go their way. At least giving them the man advantage here. And there's 3 players over on the B side at the moment. There is nobody over on AS, so we'll quickly rotate in. And still very low players over on that Red Reserve side, so definitely still the potential for this to be turned back. Angel on the AWP is not something I expected to see, I'll be honest. Especially when you got DevFox, who used to be the primary AWPer of this team, and just going, nah. I think it's also based on position. He is over towards the B site, whereas both DevFox and Woxic play on A. Relaxer actually waiting for a little bit of aggression here. He's read this well. There's now nobody on the B side. This is even more peculiar. Issa peeks the angle. Relaxer will be staying alive for at least a moment, but Bondic in a comfortable position to trade. However, what can Angel do with this AWP? Peek out. They've spotted him. They know he's up there, watching over from above. Has the nade. There's a couple of low players. It's close, but it's not quite enough. And Angel's just going to go peeking, looking to try and drop the man planting the bomb. Can't quite manage it. Now waits for the rotation from Bondic as well. Peek from above. Has a chance here. The scope should be heard, but he actually gets away with that. I'm not sure how nobody manages to trade. A dink comes in from his teammate, but that's the most damage done so far. And now it's on to just one. Angel hits the no-scope. Maybe he should be AWPing a little bit more, because that was quite impressive in the end. And the half just goes pretty much as badly as it can. 14-1.
I mean, at least they didn't get the pistol round. That's yeah. I don't know. It's hard to.
You're a silver lining sort of guy, aren't you? Yeah. It could be worse.
I mean, you gotta stay positive, but then again, it's just really hard to hype up a match like this where it's the rounds haven't even been remotely close, and we've really lacked a plan from Red Reserve. I feel it's.
Would you say, as a player, when you're in a scenario like this, would you rather, like, at least try and get yourself into the game, and then if it doesn't go wrong, like if it goes wrong, you can go like, okay, at least we started to build into it? Or would you rather it just ended and just go, okay, let's write that off?
I mean, I think actually maybe it's, some would maybe say it's a bad attitude or something like that, but I think in some cases, yeah, in a case like this, just end it really, because if you do start, let's say they take the pistol round now, and let's say they go up to 14-10 and then they lose, they will know that all that work was for nothing, right? And it's not like it's going to help them in the next game.
Also, could you have the idea that you were like, if we didn't do so badly in the first half, we would have been in it? Because you then did a reasonable amount in the second half.
Is that a nice thought to have?
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. That's not a good thought to have. So, I mean, I'd rather lose convincingly than lose a close game. And at this point, it might not even, be beneficial for them to lose a close game. Maybe it's just nice to lose 16-1. I mean, at Copenhagen games, I lost 16-2 to Kingwin on the first map, and we came back on the second and played much better. So, yeah.
Oh, we'll see if they can at least try and put on a little bit of a show. The Red Reserve guys with a detriment of 13 rounds. Push coming in on towards the A side. They've got a quick flank coming in, and Plassen will at least be able to take one, but the shot's not quite connected, and Woxic will do the opposite in return. 2 quick headshots, Botten on that flank, but it has now been spotted. A second in the form of Freddy Frog. Bondic round the corner. Will he expect it? Yes, he will. Hits the instant headshot and now gives them a decent chance. They don't have a kit on any of the remaining players. And DevFox is only on 10 HP without any armor. Not that that will make a difference. He will be dead to one shot. However, he still finds himself the kill. It's left all onto Woxic. 1v1 again. He is the same man in the pistol round as before, just trying to run away, playing with his opponent. The question is, do they actually have a kit anywhere on the site? It doesn't look like it. There's just not going to be enough time, and the bomb will be going off. That is even more painful. 4 kills for Freddy Frog, and still he loses the round.
Yeah, I mean, that that sucks. But then again, who wants to be the guy on 14-1 who sacrifices himself to get a kill? I mean, really, I understand it. At this point, it's like, yeah, just get it over with. Let's mentally reset. Let's go to the second map, and let's put up a much better showing. I don't quite remember the map pool. Do you know? Do you have the ability to find it fast?
Yeah, no, my mind is telling me it's Inferno, not my phone.
Okay. Oh, Inferno, you say?
Yeah.
I mean, Red Reserve, they are quite good on Inferno. I would say the same about HellRaisers, so it will probably be a much better map. I think Overpass, it's just too hard to play as a mix. I think Red Reserve are a great team. They've got some really, really sick aimers, and yeah, I think they'll be able to bounce back. But yeah. I think even on the second map, it's going to be a struggle for them if they're playing like they are here.
Definitely a long way back in this one, and still a second map to come. The question is, can they make any sort of turnaround here? 15-1, 14 rounds in a row needed just to take it to overtime. I can't say I'm much of a believer. It'd be almost as ambitious as saying Fours were going to win 16-0 in the second map, but
some would say.
They did win it, so I suppose you were right in that regard. And also, Botan has managed to get himself the early kill. Well, they could at least look to build something into this one. T's
I
actually
love
still
that self-boost. I love it so much. I use it every chance I get. Pleasant gets dropped. And the T's, unfortunately, do not know that the A side is open. But, yeah. Freddy Fox should be getting this kill. That Fox should not clear it. Almost gets a bit too ambitious. And now it looks like the T's will be going to the B side. Krias is the man of the hour, perhaps. He needs at least one kill here. He's not going to get it. Relaxer with one, but I mean, this round is so hard. He only has a single flash to work with. Issa is playing close. And Voxic is playing far. If he hits this one dig, it might just be possible, but Issa pushing him. A bit of a misplay, perhaps, but does not get punished for doing so. Now, in the water, Relaxer just simply cannot connect one of these deagle shots. All it would take is one, and instead, he will be the one that's taken down. And it's a, would you say convincing? 16-1
I think convincing might be a slight understatement, really. That was absolute domination from HellRaisers from start to finish. Not really looking like Red Reserve ever got into the game. And I do think that probably out of every team left in this tournament, which I suppose is everybody, but out of all the teams you could meet up against, I think they would be the worst if you're playing as a mix. Because I think there's pretty much, if anybody would be like the ultimate mix, it probably would be this team. They're throwing a lot of international players together, a lot of firepower on this roster, and it definitely seemed that the second, like, for example, Woxic got going, there was no stopping him. There was no one to just go, okay, we're going to shut him down, we're going to counter him, we'll use utility, or we'll have all of these different ideas to stop him doing what he's doing. It was just like, oh, he's running through smokes, he's getting a headshot with the AWP. Oh, he's running through this, he's getting an opening kill. Okay, now he sits padded, but he still gets the opening pick anyway. And it was just like, from then on, it was just attempt after attempt to just run into a site or find a pick somewhere, and you can't do that versus HellRaisers.
I think it's a problem when you say that the second that Voxic got going, that was when he was unstoppable, when it was, I think, apparent for everyone, even you, that he got started in the first round.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, that just...
Well, he won both pistols in 1v1s. Were won by him.
Yeah.
He didn't get the kill in the last one, but he did just run away and save the round, so...
Yeah, so, I mean, he just played a really, really sick game. I think actually a lot of praise should go to Dead Fox as well. He had some really high impact kills, especially towards the beginning of the game, and he was one of the very vital players for HellRaisers in this match, I'd say.
Well, either way, the desk have the lovely job of trying to break that one down, so you'll be joined by them after the break.
5 reasons to bet on bets.net. 1. We are not a bookmaker agency. We are a betting exchange. We are fine with any outcome of the event, so we have no reason not to pay your win. The information about the bets is available for everyone in real time. We stand for fair esports. 2. Instant replenishment and withdrawal of funds. No delays, checks, and restrictions. 3. Convenient mobile app on iOS and Android. All site functionality is in your pocket. Bonuses for each user of the app. 4. More than 800,000 people trust us. We are the most visited esports bet site in the CIS. 5. All coefficients are fully transparent and the commission rate is the lowest. We play fair and square.